Nordic countries are leading the way.
I feel like Sweden's always at the top of a lot of things. I think we're really good at life.
We're far behind Sweden here in the United States when it comes to things like equal pay protections and paid family leave and subsidized childcare.
Sweden does a lot of things amazingly, but lost in the debate is people that are second, third, fourth generation immigrants or first generation immigrants like myself.
In turn, it can be kind of tough to break in as an outsider.
Sweden sees itself as a bastion of equality, standing out for its generous immigration policies and ranking high on income and gender equality. But the inclusion record of Sweden's financial industry isn't pretty.
Actually being able to get employed in skilled jobs is quite hard. And there are proven correlations between being of kind of foreign non-EU minority status and low employment rates.
According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, Sweden's finance industry is ranked among the worst for major recipient countries of migrants.
The difference in working at a Swedish firm and a UK or a US firm, I actually can't answer that question because I've never gotten a job in Sweden.
Sean George was born in the US and moved to Sweden at age 12. After college, he moved back to the US before making his return to Sweden in 2016.
It was a 6-month period and I couldn't get a single job interview. I don't think that people looked at me and said, we don't want to hire Sean because of his skin color or background. They generally don't hire anybody that has a foreign background because that could shock or rock the consensus way they work.
Sean decided to go solo instead. He is now the chief investment officer of his $100 million Hamiltonian Global Credit Opportunities Fund.
This consensus thought process is leading to a very, very thin window for candidates to get through to get into the Swedish financial industry.
So I was the first American to ever transfer with Barclays Bank to their Swedish office in Stockholm. While I put in a lot of time to learn Swedish, I still felt like I couldn't really be successful in the same way as my colleagues, being so much of a foreigner. So I really don't think it's a matter of me being of different ethnicity and not being Swedish. It's more of a matter of not growing up in the Nordic infrastructure and not kind of having those same institutional, social, and cultural reference points.
A key part of the problem is that Sweden, like Germany and France, doesn't compile statistics on race.
So in general, diversity in Sweden usually means gender, and that's what's reported at the corporate, at the government level. Because only nationality is tracked instead of race or ethnicity, you don't really have the same amount of data to study kind of people who look a little bit different or kind of socioeconomic inequality. And a lot of times I've been told that I make people feel uncomfortable by talking about race.
Without complete data, setting targets becomes impossible. That hampers debate on race in a country where just over a third of the population claims some kind of foreign or migrant background, according to Karlstad University.
We are not included in the diversity debate. And quite frankly, I'm a little disappointed that the banks are hiding behind the legislation that says it's illegal to track race, because a lot of these issues they know exists. I truly believe that this is nepotism and a protection of a social structure that is not gained by equity ownership or sole proprietorship. This is a social structure that has been in place for decades.
Some of Sweden's top lenders spoke to Bloomberg and acknowledged there's a need to create a more diverse and inclusive culture. The story has sparked a debate on both state broadcaster STV and Radio Sweden about the true levels of diversity in Sweden's finance industry.